Welcome back to Trading Wars. Thanks for joining me today. Today, I'm going to be starting part one of my professional guide on how to trade futures. It's going to be no nonsense. It's going to be based on what I've done for the past 5 years. And if you're ready, let's step into the war zone. Okay, so the way I'm going to start this video off is going to be different than others. I'm going to start off with a challenge. Okay, so the challenge is to open a futures account, however small. It could be a $200, $300, $400, $500. It doesn't matter. And trade for 1 full year. And by the end of the year, if you can finish profitable, you're on your way to be a successful trader. Okay. The issue that most traders have is they have a lack of experience. Okay. To become a doctor, it takes, I don't know, 10 years. To a lawyer, 8 years. To become a CPA like me, it's taken me well over 6 years. So how can you expect to start trading and make money right off the bat? It's a skill just like everything else. So that's why the most important thing is to get started, get your foot in the water and start trading. Okay. There is no PDT rule for trading futures. So there is no excuse, absolutely no excuse. And for those of you that are trying to get funded and doing all of this stuff, why would you even spend $150 a month to get funded if you can't even prove to yourself that you can trade for 1 year making profits? Okay, so before you go on to those ventures, prove it to yourself. So that's the challenge that I have for you guys this year. Open a futures account, however small you want, and start trading. So with the introduction of micro contracts, it's 1/10 of a regular contract. So for example, if you're trading S&P 500 futures, in the past, when I first started trading, every point would cost $50. So it'd be very, very difficult to trade a small account. But now with the invention of micro contracts, every point is only $5. So there is absolutely no excuse. And frankly, you guys just need to get started and gain experience to get this going. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a quote here. This is a very important quote. So a lot of you know Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and this is why I succeed. And that's exactly how trading is. Trading is a sport. It is a skill, and you need to be able to take shots and get better and practice. And your form of practicing is through trading. And when you first start trading, you should start with very small risk, build the skills, and prove to yourself that you can consistently make money. If you can take a $500 account and make it to $1,000 account by the end of the year, you can do the same thing with $1 million account, a $10 million account. It doesn't matter because everything is based on percentages and risk management. Okay. All right. So what are future contracts? So future contracts are another trading instrument, just like an ETF, just like stocks, just like bonds. It's an instrument created for the purpose of trading or investing. And what it is really, it's a promise for buying positions at a future date. But when we are trading future contracts, we're just holding them for a short period of time, and we are selling them before the expiration date so that we can make profit and loss on the short-term price change. Okay, very simple. So with futures, the main benefit of futures is that you can trade after hours. So after 6 p.m., the market will reopen for futures. It'll go all the way throughout the day. It only has a short break from, I believe it's 5 o'clock to 6 p.m. or actually it might be 4:30. So that's it. It's open 24 hours. And then there's a break on Friday night and then we open back on Sunday at 6 p.m. Okay. So the big pro is that, if you hit profit targets overnight, you can get out. If you want to get out of a position overnight, you can use a stop loss. You can do whatever you want. If you want to get into something, you can do that. So that's a big benefit of futures. Okay. The other big benefit is it's highly leveraged. So you don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money in futures because the money is very leveraged. It's very similar to options in that sense. The main cons about future is exactly the pros. The cons is that it's open all the time. So if it's open all the time, you might overtrade. You might do dumb things. You might get caught in volume traps. And that's also a con. That's the main cons that I see in futures. But otherwise than that, if you have a system, you have a profitable plan, and you're disciplined, those should not be cons. Okay. So the other biggest con that I would say, it happened to me a few years back is because futures is based on high leverage, there's also margin involved, and you can get margin called. So if you're holding something for the long term and it's going against you, let's say you have a contract and it's going against you, after you reach your liquidity amount, they will automatically liquidate and sell your position. Whereas in stocks, you can hold that till infinite. Even if it goes, negative 50% on you or whatever, you can hold the shares forever. So that's the only difference. So that's why I recommend for futures, short-term trading. We're trying to generate profits each and every day in the market. Okay. So the broker that I use is Interactive Brokers. And I know people that use TD Ameritrade. There's many other brokers. For me, I like Interactive Brokers because the commissions are cheap. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm only going to say what I know, guys. I'm not going to promote something that I don't know. I've never gone to these programs to get funded and all these type of stuff, so I can't promote them. But I have the chart here from Interactive Brokers. These are all the micro versions of their futures. They have micro E-mini S&P, they have the micro NASDAQ, micro Russell, and the micro DGIA. All right. So the main difference that you need to know is the micro contracts are new. The full contracts like ES, NQ, the Russell, those have been around forever, basically. And those, the only difference between them is the point system, okay? So I have a MES chart here. So I'm just gonna go down to a 5-minute chart, and I'm gonna go to a 5-minute chart for ES. And as you can see, the charts are exactly the same. The price is exactly the same. There's no difference. The only difference is if you lose or gain 1 point on ES, you're going to make $50 per point. Okay. And if you use MES one contract, you can gain only $5 per point. Okay. So obviously for small accounts, you want to trade micros, because if you have a $500 account and you get a 10-point stop loss on on ES, you won't have an account. So you want to do it with micros. So I recommend everybody start off with micros, work your way up. Eventually, when your size is big enough, then you can come over into the full size contracts. And it's the same thing for NQ and whatever futures. There's also future contracts for gold and other commodities as well that you can do. All right. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with anything. I want to keep it short. But to reiterate again, I want to issue a futures challenge to you guys. Start off with a small account and prove to yourself that you can grow it before you start doing all these other things. If you cannot make money consistently month over month, then you need more time. You need more practice. You need more experience in the markets. And this is how you get it done. There's no better time to start than now, because we have micro contracts. Okay. So futures, again, they're open basically 24 hours. There's small breaks on the weekend. And then at 4:30 to 6, they're just another form of trading instruments to use. They're highly leveraged. And the cons are you have to use leverage and then you can get margin called. But the pros are you can quickly make a lot of money in and out if you're day trading and if you're holding for short term. All right. And then again, my broker, Interactive Broker, you can use whatever you want. But the main thing, get started, open an account and challenge yourself. Stop sitting in your comfort zone. How are you going to get better if you stay the same? All right. Thank you very much. Take care.